Hello, 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 and welcome everyone to It Is All a Work. Today, to my side, I have the great HangyMangy Dresh. Had something he had to do today. He will not be with us this evening. However, we should be back.
No longer with us.
We should be back. He is still with us. Well, we should be back in full force next Thursday. The trio shall be back. Right now, we're rolling as a duo to come to you in review SmackDown from this past Friday.
Ooh, SmackDown.
And I will say, G, last couple shows have been fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
straight fire.
We had kind of a lull, to be honest. If everybody's being honest with themselves, we had kind of a lull the two shows after WrestleMania. They didn't really live up to what you wanted them to be outside of the Bloodline segment. That was cool, but outside of that, there wasn't a lot going on.
Well, honestly, I think they needed time to either recuperate or come up with what direction they were going into. You know, build more of a story between the wrestlers, teams, factions, all of that sort. So, you know, the WrestleMania and the SmackDown after the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania was kind of like filler shows, honestly. Just it's there until they get their shit together. But after that, it seems like they've gotten their shit together finally.
You know what? I think that you're right. I think that Triple H took a second. He recouped. He allowed his champions and some other people to take like a week off. He said, hey, look, you just had a great WrestleMania. Take some time. And that's why we had some people that we don't normally see on Raw show up, or maybe what people would consider the B-level people show up on Raw. Now, that doesn't mean they were all B-level people, of course, but you did see some unfamiliar faces.
Well, his champions took more time off than, just a week.
Fair.
No shots at Rhea Ripley. However, apparently that injury is real. She's supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks. ACL tear or some tear in the shoulder.
Well, according from what I've read, she's lost mobility for 4 to 6 weeks in her arm, and outside of that, she will be out for 3 months. Is what I've seen. Again, I don't know. Yes, it looks like it's real, but I still don't know.
I mean, it's just the timing. The timing is very coincidental, but, they did say they were going to blur the line, so maybe they are just blurring it. You know, maybe she did get hurt, and they're just like, we're going to play it like it's a work, but
hey,
I don't know.
But you know me, I am a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, we know. Check if anybody's watching, please check out the YouTube, and you will see how much of a conspiracy theorist my good friend Big T 616 is.
Look, man, look. All I'm saying is, like you said, it's too coincidental that it all happened. But you know what? It's all good. That's not why we're here. We are here to talk about SmackDown. And we're going to open the way we always open every single solitary week. They got away from it a little bit, but you cannot totally get away from it. And that is, we see Naomi entering the arena, and Corey Graves is going to remind us that it will be Naomi versus Bayley tonight. And then we're going to go right into our match, actually. We're going to go right into LA Knight versus AJ Styles for the #1 contendership for the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, yeah.
So, basically, in this match, I mean, it was a decent enough match. I actually commented somewhere that it was actually better than the WrestleMania match, if I'm being honest.
Any match between them two after WrestleMania, I feel like would have been a better match. I don't know. I just wasn't into it.
Yep.
There was no stakes involved, so.
Right. So now you got something to lose, right? Now you got some skin in the game, more or less. So the match itself, it's going to be all LA Knight for like the first 5 minutes of the match. Until we go to the commercial. We're going to get some face slams on the announcer table before the commercial. And during the commercial, Styles is going to gain control with a sliding knee on the apron. But when we actually come back from the commercial, we'll get a punch for punch basically between LA and AJ. And LA Knight's going to ultimately gain victory. When I say victory, I mean control over that punch for punch. LA Knight's going to end up working to the corner. He's going to work AJ to the corner where he's going to hit a superplex. But, it's going to be a near fall. AJ Styles is going to end up hitting a moonsault to reverse DDT or the Stinger Scorpion drop, depending on which way you lean. I lean towards the Scorpion Death Drop.
I would say Scorpion Death Drop. He probably learned it from Sting while he was in TNA, but that's neither here nor there.
Right. So AJ is going to end up going for his signature move to have them reversed one after another until LA Knight is going to go for the BFT. At this point, AJ will reverse the BFT, which is the blunt force trauma. Ends up on the apron, pokes LA Knight in the eyes, and off of that, he will hit the phenomenal forearm to become your number one contender in a mostly clean victory, G.
Mostly clean. The rake to the eyes is, call back to Flair tactics, but, not too much of a heel move, but It was there. Still, that was a good overall match.
Yep. So, like I said on the Facebook, I didn't get any responses on it, but like I said on the Facebook, this is going to be a 2 of 3. Now they've fought a bunch of times, but this is far from over.
Oh yeah. I feel like they're drawing back to when. I don't know how far they're going to go back with this rivalry, but again, these two were in a different company, but that's neither here nor there. However, the rivalry has carried over, and it's starting to build up a little bit better now before WrestleMania, because the WrestleMania joint was just, it seemed like you tried too hard, tried to force it.
Yeah, I just feel like something was missing from it, if I'm being honest, at WrestleMania. But for SmackDown, it was a good match. I think that they're probably going to work a program. I don't think it's going to go all the way to SummerSlam, if I'm being honest. I think they're going to work a program maybe to the next PLE or the PLE after, and then they'll have their last little bout. But we'll see. So what we're going to end up getting next is we're going to get a Bloodline trailer showing what happened last week with the debut of Tama Tonga. They also were sure to show the part where KO insulted Solo last week. Where he basically says, hey, the broom closet's over there, as he's going into Cody's dressing room. After that, we're going to cut to Solo showing up in a suit, and Tama is going to appear behind Paul out of nowhere. Paul was waiting for Solo to arrive. And Solo says, here's the newest member of the Bloodline, my MFT, Tama Tonga, and he embraces him. He then asks where KO is, and Paul says he's not sure, but he assumes in the locker room, and Solo says, okay, take me to him. Now, what is MFT?
Motherfucking Tama. I don't know.
It's fair. You know what, though? I meant to look it up. I forgot to look it up. I don't know either. So.
Oh. Because I'm curious, because, maybe it could be just a title like a voicer.
Could be. But either way, Solo looking sharp, probably trying to assume the role of Tribal Chief, unless it is The Rock pulling the strings, of course.
Oh, it means my family tree. That's what they've settled on. My family tree. Because I don't think Tama Tonga's not in that family. However, I did read they are from the same island. So,
all right. Well, I know they're not related, but that my family tree is kind of weak.
Hey, I just read what the internet gives me, man.
I know. I'm just saying it's weak tea. That's weak tea. Oh, by the way, if anybody notices my eyes, I had a kidney stone. That's what you're seeing there. So they're bloodshot. I threw up a lot. It sucked. Moving on.
He's pissing ice cubes.
So next we're gonna have our Triple H segment. And Nick Aldis is out in the ring, and he introduces out Triple H because it is new title time. And Triple H comes down to the ring, and as he gets to about the stairs, between the stairs and the barricade, we're going to get another QR code. The link to that QR code is in the, or to that, not the QR code, but to the video of me explaining the QR code is in the chat. Please check that out. It's about a 15-minute video, a little bit longer, of me basically explaining the entirety of the thing and also the questions that are left, because there still are a few questions that I do believe will be answered by the end of next week, meaning by the end of next SmackDown. So anyway, Triple H goes into how WrestleMania was amazing and how it was a record-breaking show again, and he goes into the future. He goes into talking about making the future amazing, and that when you are making the history to that future, you want to have titles befitting for that future and moments that are for that future. And he tells Nick to go ahead and bring A-Town down under out to the ring. And Grayson and Austin Theory are happy to oblige. They come out obviously basking in how awesome they believe that they are. And oh, that's not good. Basking in how awesome they believe that they are. And Grayson's going to get on the mic and he's going to say that the awesome truth of the secondary champions, and he appreciates Triple H coming out to give the number one champions their new titles as well. Austin says that he heard that R-Truth was calling him a magician last week, and he says, I don't know what kind of tricks that you could have up your sleeve, Mr. Magician, that would make us better than we already are, that would make us cooler than we already are, better, and it would make us look better than we already do.
Still worth them to us. Phenomenal.
No, you know, they're really out here feeling themselves, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Triple H introduces the titles and says that from now on they will be known as the WWE Tag Team Champions. Titles look pretty good. I like them. They hark back to the old SmackDown titles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the old WWE titles in general, I believe.
Yeah. No, they're actually decent. Like I like them.
Yep. The WWE Raw Tag Team Championships actually harken back to old championships with that shape, with the circle, the pizza shape.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate those a little bit more though.
But in my opinion, those look good as well. So I don't have any problem. What's up?
New champions all the way around. New championships. I love it. I love the new.
Indeed. So Triple H extends his hand for a handshake, and Grayson swerves him to give Austin Theory a handshake, to which Nick intervenes at that point and says, let me make this crystal clear. You open your mouth and disrespect him like that again, I will make sure that A Clown Down disappears.
A Clown Down.
A Clown Down.
Nick Aldis don't play that shit. You see Adam Pearce, I'm not saying he's a pushover, but Nick Aldis will be playing that shit.
No. I would like to see Nick Aldis go against Adam Pearce one day.
I honestly see Nick Aldis going over. Easy.
You're probably right. Yeah. I still would like to see it. But then Nick introduces the 4-way match for the number one contender for the titles, or to become number one contender. Your match is going to be Street Profits versus New Catch Republic versus Angel and Berto of Legado del Fantasma versus the Authors of Pain, and A-Town Down are going to be hanging out on commentary the entire time. So Tyler Bate and Montez Ford are going to start us off. We're going to be going tit for tat, and their little exchange is going to end with a kip up, where they kind of kip up and they look over at each other, kind of mutual respect kind of thing. That's going to end up breaking down. Angel and Berto are going to get involved off of a blind tag, and kind of, you know, in the mutual respect that was going on in the ring. We're going to end up going to a commercial, excuse me, with AOP getting involved and basically clearing house before we go to that commercial. Now, AOP is going to show their dominance and absolute power when we come back from the commercial, all the way until the New Catch Republic gets their tag in, and they clear the ring, capping off their run with a combination German suplex from Pete Dunne, aided by Tyler Bate with an off-the-rope clothesline. He did his slingshot thing. That slingshot thing he does with his arms, that freaks me out. The next big spot is Tyler trying to lift up Razor.
Insane.
And when it fails, the Street Profits and Pete Dunne are going to help Tyler to lift him up, to which Angel and Berto ruin it by attacking everybody and clearing the ring. So now it's kind of Angel and Berto's time to do a little bit of showing what they can do, and they end up doing their second rope military press that takes out everybody in the ring. AOP previously had been taken out completely, and they were starting to kind of move around and get back up. So what ended up happening is we're going to have a double backflip off of the second rope with Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and then Montez Ford is going to jump from the inside of the ring over the turnbuckle, over the ring post, to his opponent on the outside, which is crazy. The athleticism of that man is nuts.
Man, I just want an ounce of it, just an ounce, maybe a little bit more. Just goddamn, to jump that high. I mean, we saw the measurements. Almost 2 months ago, of how much Montez Ford can jump and how close Ivar is. Yep. That's still insane to me. If that's real with Ivar, that's still insane to me. I don't care.
Yeah, man, they do some crazy feats. They do some insane, crazy feats.
I mean, Montez is not a stick figure, but goddamn, if he's not built like one, like he just, this is crazy.
You're right. The way that he moves is nuts. He actually has a video going around right now of him sneaking up behind Dominic, and they're like, which scream is real? Because he does this weird like waddle, and then he like does this and like screams at him. It's really creepy actually. But yeah, he's able to move into some weird ass ways, man. So after they do this, at this point we're gonna go ahead and run into our false finish exchange, with each team getting the upper hand and looking like they're going to hit their finish, or they do hit their finish and the pin is interrupted. But ultimately, the Street Profits are going to hit the Revelation on Angel to become your new #1 contenders, as Bobby Lashley and B-Fab will come out to celebrate with them.
And I will say, T, you called this one, so good call. Good call on this.
Yeah, it was wild, because at first I was like, oh, maybe it's going to be Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, and then I was like, nah, Street Profits. Street Profits.
It was so random, but hey, dude, good call.
So I felt it. I don't know what it was, but I just felt it, man. Felt it in my bones. Like a Hershey's chocolate bar. I just felt it. Like when you eat the Hershey's chocolate, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? All right, anyway.
I ain't gonna bring it up, but I hear you.
You would know more what I'm talking about if you guys were watching Hangy's stream. If you guys aren't following Hangy, follow Hangy for some good comedy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, follow that, because you will be surprised. I don't know if you will be surprised. You just, you have questions about, SmackDown, the chocolate brand, and
all I'm saying is I don't have to be as PC when we gaming. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because your face ain't short.
It's fair. I didn't say that. What are you talking about? You see my face? You didn't see my face. But no.
T616, this you?
But nah, so now we're going to go into a recap of what happened with Rhea and her having to vacate her title. And As we near the end of that, we're going to zoom out to Bayley and Byron Saxton, who is going to ask her where her head is at before facing Naomi. Bayley says that she's focused, and that one thing that won't change tonight is Bayley being the women's champion. Turns out she was right. So, now we're going to switch to Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. And Paul saying that he's sorry that they can't find Kevin Owens, and Solo's going to walk away from Paul towards the entrance. And Paul chases after and says Solo is making decisions that he's not able to make, and only one person can make those choices. Paul's about to say the Roman Reigns' name, and Solo stops him and says, "Are you done yet?" Paul nods, and Paul asks if the MFT will be joining them, as Solo smiles and heads to the ring after he looks at his thumb. So Solo's music is going to hit, and we're going to get the proper Bloodline segment. Paul is actually going to be the one who starts talking. He's going to start talking about politics in the Bloodline. And now we're going to get a "We Want Roman" chant. And I actually said this. I said this the first on Raw, I think. The first Raw after SmackDown. Yeah. I said they're going to turn Roman face. I might have even said it after during the Night 2 review, the WrestleMania Night 2 review, that Roman is already face. It's already been done. He's lost, and now he's face now.
Honestly, if they keep him not full face, not baby face at least, but anti-face, where he's, not a complete face, but not a complete heel, it'll be fine. But I don't know. Are we gonna get the suffering succotash spew again? Are we gonna get the big dog again with the dog food?
I doubt it. I think the fan is just gonna be solidly behind him. I think the fan base is just gonna love what he does, and I think that he's not gonna do heel things anymore. I think he's gonna be the same guy. He's just not gonna do heel stuff.
See, I'm okay with him doing the heel stuff. That's him, and I like that. That's what I like about him. He does heel shit, but that's just me personally. But I mean, this is what everybody wanted. They wanted Roman out. They wanted Cody Rhodes. They wanted him to finish his story, the story that nobody care about. I'm sorry, I'm salty.
I know you are. You just want all the heels to win, man.
Not even all the heels, just not that one. Cody Rhodes. I gotta finish the story. Who cares? It's like The Rock said, fuck your story.
So after this chant happens, this is going to irritate Solo. He's visibly irritated. And Paul then starts to get emotional, and he's, he tries to get something out. And Solo's going to take the mic again right before he says Roman Reigns. Solo doesn't want to hear Roman's name. Solo tries to talk, but the crowd's going to boo him. They're going to give him the Dominic treatment, like hard. Eventually, he gets out that last week he had to lose a brother to gain a brother. His MFT, Tama Tonga. He says Tama Tunga. Whatever. Either way. At this point, Kevin Owens is going to be thrown from the back, face bloodied. And Tama throws him down the ramp towards the ring as referees come out to try to get KO to the back, to try to help him to the back. Meanwhile, Tama gets in the ring and puts up the 1 sign, and KO is going to be rebellious and actually turn around and head back to the ring. He actually gets the upper hand on Tonga when he gets in the ring, but Solo's going to get involved, so the momentum shifts back to the Bloodline. They end up fighting into the ring, where KO is going to again get control over Tama Tonga. But a Samoan spike out of nowhere is going to put KO back out. They beat down. The beatdown will ensue, and Tama will go get a chair, and this will prompt Nick Aldis to actually come out to the ring and get in between them. They are going to back off after this, but the damage obviously has already been done. KO's basically dead. He died. Paul's face is showing a story that he hates what's going on, that Paul has no control of what's going on.
None.
And we're going to go to a commercial. Now, when we come back, the story is still happening. So when we come back from commercial, we're going to see that Tama actually ran into Kevin's car as he was entering the building, and that is what led to his head injury, most likely. I'm taking liberty with that. Paul says that this was not authorized, but Nick says that he understands conflict between the boys, but on this show, on his show, they handle things in the ring, and he will not tolerate this level of savagery. He says that the bloodline needs to understand this, and if they don't, the response will be equally as savage moving forward. He then ends this with saying that losing is not the only thing that has consequences. Now this is going to move us into Carlito with Zelina Vega versus Santos Escobar and Elektra Lopez. I just want to say this. I thought this feud was going to be over.
Nah.
Thought the feud was done. And to be completely honest, it's very obvious at this point that WWE does not know what to do with these two groups. They made the two groups. They don't know what to do with the two groups.
Yep.
And the fact that we can't move on from a feud after WrestleMania, especially one that doesn't really hit, it doesn't look good. They just don't know what to do with Latinos in WWE, with cruiserweights in general. They don't know what to do with them.
I told you what they could have done. They could have put Legado del Fantasma against the Pride. They could have put LWO against Judgment Day because the whole Dom thing, and have Andrade and Ray kind of lead that, But hey, that's just me. What do I know?
You're right. You should email them. So, basically this match is this. Carlito is going to maintain the upper hand in the beginning, and we're going to go to a commercial. Before the commercial, though, I will say this. The one thing that stood out, Carlito put his head through Zelina's legs to lift her up on his shoulders. It just felt weird.
Hey, I'm saying, look, Alistair gonna have a problem.
Look, it felt weird to me. It felt like she didn't know it was coming. She looked uncomfortable.
She did.
And to put and to kind of bring myself back from the Ronda Rousey stuff that I was talking about in the last episode, I just want to say, yeah, she looked uncomfortable. So I hope that if she was, I hope she said something. But moving on from that, we're going to come back from the commercial to see Santos in control. And he's going to get Carlito to the corner and receive double knees, a kick, and then a Hurricane Rana from the top for a near fall. Carlito looks like he's going to go for a high-risk move at one point, and then Elektra is going to get involved, which leads to just an awful exchange between Elektra and Zelina, where Zelina's going to go for a Hurricane Rana that gets reversed, and she's supposed to be held and slung against the barricade, but she's going to miss the barricade, get dropped, and then she's got to act like she's been devastatingly hurt.
Yep.
It was terrible.
My head now. My head.
Now, meanwhile, Carlito is going to be on the apron and has to go tell the ref where to be for the last spot of the match. So once the ref gets into position, Carlito goes to get back in. Santos is going to kick the rope for a makeshift low blow, hit his Phantom Driver, and win the match. They need to introduce a new title. A title will give this more meaning. And I know that's weird to say that, oh, I'm using the title as a band-aid. I get it. But if you put a title in the mix, even if LWO or Legado del Fantasma do not get the title. It will give them both something to chase and get them away from each other. So then they can continue their feud, but the feud ends with going to a title, maybe another person who has the title. They have to do something to get them away.
Right. Right now, you're just putting them together. It's Latino and Latino violence. That's all it is. It needs to stop.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Stop all this Latino on Latino violence, man. I need Latino on like.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and say it. Chocolate. Nah.
No. Anyway, we're gonna go. We're gonna switch to a VIP box with Kayla Braxton standing by with damage control, and she asks why Dakota and the former WWE Women's Champion wanted to get a closer look at this match. This pisses Dakota off, and asks Kayla if she was trying to insult Io, and that Io will win her title back from Bayley when she's good and ready. She also adds that they wanted to see the people that they hate beat each other up. She says that Damage Control is still the most dominant faction on SmackDown and in the WWE, and she tries to end with saying that the Kabuki Warriors are the tag champs, and that's not changing anytime soon. And then we get Jade Cargill's music. That's not her music, but we get Jade Cargill's music. And her and Bianca come out in the skybox next to them to show, obviously, that they would like to have a closer look at the main event. And obviously, we're going to be doing a tag team spot with the Kabuki Warriors, Bianca, and Jade.
All I'm going to say, and listen to me closely, all I'm going to say is, if the Kabuki Warriors beat Bianca and Jade Cargill, WWE will lose a lot of credibility. I'm just throwing that out there because there is legitimately no possible way or reason for Bianca and Jade Cargill to not, I hate to say this, stomp the Kabuki Warriors. There's no reason behind it.
Is that a little racism I hear there, G?
Ain't no racism, but I want you to think about, look at Bianca and look at Jade and tell me who's going to stop that. You couldn't beat them up. Could you? I can't. I know I can't.
No, and I agree with you, honestly. No. I agree with you. I'm just messing with you. They do need to win the tag titles. That should be their next step.
That team is insane. You literally got muscle upon muscle and abs upon abs. Like,
the problem is, if you put the titles on them, I don't see anyone taking not anyone anywhere on any roster in WWE. I do not see anyone taking those away from them.
Nah. And you know what? They need to have a Clash of Champions again, so those two could go against A-Town Down Under.
That would make sense.
Put the actual, like, the men's tag champs on them. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there because they're not losing against Kabuki Warriors.
You could do that. You could put the men's tag belts on them, and I would believe it. Now, when they win against AOP, they'd get their ass kicked, but
yeah, no, that's a rollover. I'm sorry, yeah. They getting road stomped. That's where we draw the line.
So, but I mean, if they beat Grayson Waller and A-Town Down, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Like, yeah, you can't argue. It's like, see,
right?
But I just don't see. I love Asuka and I love Kairi Sane, but they're not beating them.
No,
they're not.
That ain't gonna happen. I mean, Asuka's fantastic, as is Kairi Sane, but yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Now this is gonna lead to Naomi coming out, and this is gonna lead to Naomi and Bayley. But before that happens, we're gonna get a couple things that happen. So we're gonna get a reminder about the draft happening next Friday. We're gonna get an attendance record announcement, and we're gonna get a replay of AJ becoming the #1 contender for the WWE Undisputed Heavyweight title. All right, better.
Good.
Now, Cody Rhodes, after this, is going to cut a promo from London. coming right off a victory over Shinsuke Nakamura in London, and he talks about how he's fulfilling his promise of taking his title from area to area, and then he talks about AJ and them being Georgia boys and how they've never met before, and says that that AJ Styles rarely misses, and he likens him to Bret Hart, saying he's the modern day excellence of execution, which insulted me. But he goes on. What?
Why did that insult you?
Because, look, first of all, I don't like Bret Hart. I'm just going to say that.
Damn.
But AJ is not Bret Hart.
That's facts.
Like, I'm not so blinded by my bias or whatever you would call it that I'm like, oh yeah, no, he's better. Bret Hart is. I don't like Bret Hart, but Bret Hart was good for at least his time. He's not
the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Oh, he was the best there is. He was probably one of the best there was, and he was the best until about 2001. But that's fine. It's okay. I mean, we can modify anything, I guess. But
Jesus.
So, he goes on more about AJ and how good AJ is, and he says, but while AJ doesn't miss, AJ needs to understand that I don't miss either. Or he said, I don't myth either, or something. However, however he talks with his tongue. So, he's got a lisp. So, anyway, we then, what? We're then going to get an announcement that we will have an official contract signing between the two of them next week on SmackDown. And now we're going to get into... I don't know. I'm trying to get canceled lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. But then we're going to get into our match. Decent match, I thought. Bayley will now get into the ring, and we're going to get a proper introduction, and the match is going to be a normal match for them. Starts off slow, building to bigger moves. The slow start is nothing special, as it just really contains a few small submission arm drags, shoulder tackles, quick pins, things like that. Naomi is going to be the one to break out first, hitting a tilt-a-whirl DDT through the middle ropes and then hitting a rear view. Bayley, who is now crippled by pink eye, is going to roll out of the ring to slow down the momentum and get some penicillin. So
not penicillin. Penicillin, huh?
Penicillin.
So they just got that on deck. Oh, just roll out the ring. All right.
And the WWE, I'm sure. So anyway, we're gonna come back from commercial because after she needed to get the penicillin, so she rolled out of the ring. We went to a commercial, and when we came back, Naomi was taking Bayley to the corner, and she's gonna top it off with a top rope crossbody for a near fall. Bayley will get the upper hand later on in the match, but won't hold it long, as Naomi will get the knees up from Bayley's elbow, which looked pretty fucking terrible, by the way. Then she will hit a face buster, which has actually become a meme, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it, but she jumps over that top rope and hits a face buster. She does a split. It's crazy. It's actually fantastic. Fantastically acrobatic.
Yes, it is.
So she'll do this split-legged moon, or she'll get Bayley in position for the split-legged moonsault. But Bayley's gonna get her knees up and get get Naomi in the position for the elbow drop again, which she's gonna hit this time. But the problem is that Bayley hurt her knee when she got her knees up to block Naomi. So not only was her knee hurt and she didn't have a lot of spring in her step, but she had to jump extra far to get to Naomi. Now, they're going to start working big moves at this point in reversals until they get face-to-face, where they're going to go punch for punch until Naomi will end up with the upper hand, knock Bayley out of the ring, and then do a over-the-rope crossbody to the outside. Even though this happens, Bayley, after Naomi tries to pick her up, is going to hit a Bayley to belly on the announcer's table, and then none other than your girl, Tiffany Stratton, says, "It's Tiffy time!" It comes out to clean the house.
This is why he said it's good. This is why. This is why. All right, continue. I ain't gonna stop.
She comes out and cleans house. Tiffany is going to throw Bayley into the stairs. She's going to throw Naomi into the ring post before throwing them both into the ring. Now, I would like to tell you that some of the crowd was booing, but some of the crowd, Hangy, some of the crowd, G, they were cheering for Miss Tiffy time. They understand that it's Tiffy time. They know and feel in their hearts that it's time for Tiffy to time.
Now, cheering in your own household does not account for the fans at SmackDown.
It does in my head now. Tiffany is going to line them up and do the prettiest moonsault onto both of them at the same time. And she will get up and she'll dance around a little bit, get up on the turnbuckle, and say, "It's Tiffy time," as we end SmackDown.
You know she's going to get jumped next SmackDown, right?
Yes, she is.
Okay. She getting her ass handed to her next one.
As a matter of fact, Bayley said as much in a tweet. So as it turns out, as a matter of fact, I might be able to pull the tweet up. Hold on, let me see if I can get it.
I think it's gonna be a triple threat, but it's gonna be a 2v1 for like 90% of that match.
Let's see, right here. Is that it? No, that's not it. And I say we're actually a little early, so if I can pull that tweet up, I want to pull that tweet up. There you go. I don't know how to get it without showing names. Oh, here we go. Got it. Boom. Perfect. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and move this over. So you don't see us now. You see this. Bayley tweeted Tiffany and said, "I probably would have done the same thing at Tiffany Stratton WWE. I kind of like that you made such a ballsy move. This kind of thing, those kind of things will only make the division stronger. I mean, you're done for, but good for you. I'll be seeing you. Hashtag SmackDown." So yes, Bayley's going to beat the shit out of Tiffany. I love Tiffany Stratton. I think she's great. Yeah, I know. I agree. I think Tiffany Stratton is great. It is not Tiffany Stratton time yet. But when it is Tiffy time, oh my God. Like, I'm going to be happy.
We're going to have to mute you. We're going to have to mute you during those matches. We're not listening to this shit. we're muting this shit. We're not listening to this shit. Not the entire match. No, we're not doing it. Me and Dress, we will mute you the entire round.
I know y'all will. Either way, that was SmackDown, man. That was it. Not a lot happened on the SmackDown.
Not a lot happened, but it was good. It was good quality.
Yeah. Now, I did a lot of talking. So, is there any highlights or anything that you would like to mention? Any comments, any insights, anything, man? Give it to me. Because you know what? Turns out I could have done the whole Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy thing. But either way, go ahead.
I mean, I have nothing other than, SmackDown was great. I can't wait to see where the Bloodline goes. I know there's talks of Jacob Fatu joining soon. Some other stuff going on. But yeah, overall it was a good showing. I will say I'm kind of excited to see where this whole Uncle Howdy, Bray Wyatt 6 or Wyatt 5 family shit. I wonder where this is going. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's the one thing I'm excited about. I think I'm more excited about that than the entire Bloodline story, just because there's something dealing with Bray Wyatt, and I miss Bray Wyatt. That was my guy right there.
So my question is, where do they go? Do they go to Raw? Do they go to SmackDown? Do they go over both brands? Because they go
over both brands. Who's gonna stop them?
Fair.
I mean, if everybody we say is coming back, as far as Alexa Bliss, Braun Strowman, Bo Dallas, Eric Rowan, if he comes back, And who would be the last one?
I don't know. That's the thing. A lot of people are saying Matt Hardy, just like you were suggesting as well. But he has a title at TNA, so
no, he didn't win the title. He just jumped dude that won the title. He jumped the dude that defended the title, Moose.
No, I thought he won the title.
No, he didn't win the title. No. That's why I say, maybe there's a correlation with them coming back and him being a part of TNA because WWE, they did something with TNA with the Royal Rumble. Maybe they're opening their horizons a little bit to certain brands.
Fair enough. So, and we'll see. We'll either way, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be amazing.
It'd be nice.
So I'm super excited about whichever way it goes.
All I'm saying is they better do right by this run for Bo, because what they did to Bray his last go round, I hated that shit. So I'm gonna need for them to get this one right. That's all I'm gonna say. The
rumor is that Vince had a lot to do with Bray's last run. So,
it makes sense because I don't know. It's just it sucks, and I hate that. And I hate that for him. It legit sucks. I do have a little bit of news.
Oh yeah.
Not much.
Should I do the news thing?
You can if you want to.
All right, news thing. Here we go. News.
So, coming this Raw, we have the Ring General, Gunther, returning.
Oh.
He will be showing up Raw, so I don't know. I'm excited to see what's about to happen with this. I will say, and I will mention, this is speaking on the Matt Hardy thing, he says he's still a free agent even after following his TNA return.
Okay. Well, that's the case, then let's go.
So, and outside of that, if everybody remembers Ruby Riott, well, AEW, she's Ruby Soho. She is pregnant.
Because she is a Soho.
Wow.
No.
Wow. So I just want to extend the congratulations to Ruby Riott,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Congratulations on your bundle of joy.
Wow. You are terrible.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to. You did not have to.
Fair enough.
Did you want to mention some of the releases that happened during SmackDown?
We can. I know it was Xia Li and Jinder Mahal, even though he's claiming he wasn't fired.
No, he was released. He was wholeheartedly released. And basically that entire sect of Jinder Mahal, Veer, and I can't remember the last guy's name, Zion. Anyway, that entire group got released.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Veer and Shamiki. I can't remember his name. It starts with SH though.
Yeah. So what was the group called? Indus
Sheer.
Indus Sheer basically got released along with Xia Li.
Yeah.
So.
Indeed.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, but hey, it happens every year. There's going to be more releases after the draft. It just happens. It's just something that happens.
I mean, it just seemed like Indus Sheer just got their start, kind of. Because, I mean, they really haven't been doing anything, and then they popped up, and then they disappeared. They popped up, and then it disappeared. I don't know.
Fair. Yep. But, I say there'll be some more. That will give us some more stuff to talk about. I do want to. We'll talk about that off air. Mm-hmm. What else you got for us, G?
I have nothing else. That was the news for today.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, my friends, thank you for joining us today. I've got to take my dog out because he's begging me like crazy. So I'm going to let y'all know right now, if you want good news and you want good reviews, you come here to It's All Work. Yeah. Have a good night, y'all.
We out.